I'm Caitlin, and today we're going to make an 1830s cap. We'll be working out of the Workwoman's guide today, making our cap. And so we'll be working off of page 126, and it's the one on the bottom. So it's a cap for a young member of the Society of Friends, so basically a Quaker cap. We're going to make it very fancy, so we're basically just going to use the basic pattern and then copy some originals that I have seen. And so when you look at the plate, it's these two pieces right here. So it's plate 15, but it's figures 14 and 15. So this is the finished cap, and here's one piece. The second piece is just a giant circle. So yeah, we're going to change a little bit on it. So we're going to extend the circular part to make it have a little ruffle. I've seen that on an original. Instead of just doing a little frill here, we're going to attach a frill and then put lace on top of that frill to make it extra fancy, and just put lace across here. Alright, fabric. Today I am using net. It's just a cotton net, so don't buy the polyester stuff or nylon stuff that's like 99 cents a yard. You don't want that. You want good cotton bobbinet or silk netting would work as well. This one isn't quite as fine as I prefer. It was sold to me as what I usually buy, but it is not what I usually buy. And I usually get mine from Originals by Kay, and this was not Originals by Kay stuff. So if you're looking for fine cotton bobbinet, Originals by Kay, I will link her below. She also has the dotted net, which makes a gorgeous cap. Gorgeous anything, honestly. It's expensive, but it's really pretty. So I will link both of those below. Trimmings. So I'm going to be using some beautiful cotton lace today. This is from cottonlace.com. And then I will also link down Timely Tresses, which is where I get my ribbon. This is silk satin ribbon, and she has a variety of colors. We're going to use the color of pomegranate today. Alright, let's go ahead and make our pattern. So I just have two pieces taped together because the longest point is 5.5 nails, which will be this. And I think, let me do my trusty calculator just to make sure. This is 5.5, right? 5 is 12 and 3/8, I believe. So let's go ahead and mark that. Yeah. Close enough. Make it that long. And I can just use those to make a line, and it needs to be 3 1/4 nails wide. Let's figure that 7 3/8 again. Let's mess that up. Okay, let's try that again. Just right there. Okay. So let me go ahead and cut this out. Alright, so that's what we're going to need to start with. So that is essentially, from our pattern, this piece. That is just the whole piece there. And so it says this is A to B, and that is the whole length of this. B to D is 1 nail and 3/4, and this is the part we're going to put on the fold. So 1 nail and 3/4 is just under 4 inches. And then we have a curve. We need to figure out where point E is. Curve from D to E, the point E being 3 nails and 1/2 from the top. 7 and a little over 3/4. So there's 3/4. And it wants me to curve that line. If you have a French curve, this would make this insanely easier. F, which is not marked on here, but let's assume it's that point right there, is 3/4 of a nail from the side, 1 and just under 3/4. So from the side, put it right here, and 1/2 nail from the bottom, which is just 1 1/8. 1 and 8. So this is the point. So we're going to draw a straight line from E to what we assume is F. And that looks exactly like it looks on the paper, so we're doing good. And then we're going to curve from F to A, correct? Yes, okay. It goes up a little bit, and then it kind of goes across like that. Okay, let's go ahead and cut that out. And one thing I did not do on the last pattern piece that you want to make sure to do is to label what this is. Next step is we're going to make our circle. So I think we're just going to make a, what was it, 6 nails across. However, there's a seam there, and what I want this to extend a little bit and make a ruffle, because I've seen that on originals. And so maybe I want 7 nails. No, I don't want. I want 8 nails across, because that'll give me a nail here and a nail. Maybe I don't want a nail. Maybe I want an inch. So yeah, a nail. So let's do 7 nails. 15 3/4 exactly. This is going to take a couple pieces of paper. So ideally, if you had something really cool that you could just put in the middle. I can make one. What am I doing? I am smart. We can do this. This is exactly 8 inches when I pull it taut. So I can put this in the center. And it's not going to be perfect because of how I am, but yeah, there's my giant circle. That worked. That's going to accommodate quite a large bit of hair. Let's just say that. Which is good because I have hair and plenty of it. So I think the next step is to cut this out. Now let's cut out the circle. Okay. It's okay, this is nice amounts. I overestimated a bit anyway. None of this is exact. So then we have a circle. I'm going to put the trimming on. I'm going to go ahead and prep the frilly bits. So I'm just going to take it and fold it in half and then tack the lace on the very edge. So I should be back after I iron these. Go ahead and stitch the lace on. I'm not going to film that because the camera's running out of battery, and it's really just going to be a simple running stitch right in the ditch of this lace. Okay, yeah, right there. Where that little darker part ends. I'm going to stitch that on all of this, and I'll come back and see you when the camera's charged. Alrighty, so all the lace is set in. So that all looks very nice on all of it. So I think what I'm going to do next is go ahead and sew up the side seam real quick. And then I'm going to hem this part. Because when I put this on, now if you're not doing the excess bit and you're doing it as written, you're not going to do that yet. You're going to attach your edge of your circle to that. But because I have about 1 inch excess and I'm going to attach it here to give it a little bit of a ruffle, I'm going to go ahead and hem this and then stitch this onto the hemmed part. So I'm going to do it slightly different because I'm again copying an original. Alrighty, so I have the circle here, and what I'm going to do is mark where I'm going to pleat it to attach it to the actual cap part. Let me get all my handwork. Let's get everything prepped for a bunch of handwork, and I can do the handwork. If you're doing the math for this for a ruffle, I basically measured it 3 times what it needed to be. So I measured, I think y'all saw me do that. I don't remember if I filmed that. I measured that and then multiplied that by 3. And that gets me a ruffle about this size. So you want a fuller ruffle, you're going to need a lot more. Alright, so I went ahead and attached the ruffle to the cap. I thought I had filmed that, and when I looked at the camera, I realized that the red flashing dot to tell me our filming was not on. So apparently I didn't film that. So essentially, to recap, I just pinned it on right sides together. I made the edges thinner so that the cap part or the frill part will get shorter towards the very ends. And then I'm going to just take a bit of lace and just put it on this side across here and have a fully laced cap that isn't too frilly in parts, so I don't really want it to be frilly like down there. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is go ahead and stitch all the way up there, and then gather up the big circle and stitch it on here. And that will almost be done, except for some basic, I'll come back and do the lace bit on the ends, and then I suppose we shall be trimming it. And this cap will be done. It's a very quick, simple project. I haven't been working on it for more than an hour or two, I would think. And we're nearly done with it. So I love caps. They're very simple projects, and they make me feel very accomplished because I got a whole thing done in just a few hours, and I will have time to do something else. Okay, so you know how I said this is going together really well and it's going to be a really quick project? So that's only if you do this right. And I did not do this right. So if you look at the original and look at the directions in the original, you will see all this gathering here. Did I think to do that? No, I did not. Fortunately, we did not get very far. So all I did was stitch this on, and so all I had to do is take that out. It's still a waste of 10 minutes of work, which is kind of frustrating, but okay. So if I had looked at the directions every step like I should be doing, this would not have happened. So always consult the original. So it does say, the front is quite plain for 1.5 nail above the ear. Okay, so I think I'm going to go ahead and stitch along to redo that, and then stitch along the back here, and then it'll just be the crown part. So what I'm seeing in the picture, it doesn't say too, but I'm seeing this being gathered too. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of do the same thing, just run a few running stitches and gather that part. Okay, so I have each piece, the top part and the crown, marked off in 4 places. I'm going to find the end of this one. There's the right side. Going to match the gathering line I did, which is where the stitching is going to be. Up where I want it to match. Now I should be able to find the end of my thread here and just gather it up. Oops. They don't fall. All pins fall out. It's one really fun thing about working with knit. I can go stitch that and then trim it. Alright, so here she is on the head form. Of course, she doesn't have her hair, so it's not going to fit quite well, but let's see. I think I want to tie some bows. Do a bow here. sides a little bit, and I guess it's just up. So there it is. I do need ties for it though, it's kind of hanging loose. And so I do have some, well, they're on order, some little white silk ties. I think I shall just put it like this. But I am appropriately achieving the heart-shaped cap effect of the early 1830s. So yeah, I think this project is done. Let's see how it looks with the bonnet. Alrighty. I think that's appropriately 1830s, exactly what it should look like. So yeah, that was fun. I don't know which cap I like better. I kind of like this one color, the colors is on this one, but this one is much bigger, so I can put my hair much higher. But yeah. So yeah, thanks so much for joining me, and I hope you learned something about caps in the 1830s, and I will see you next time.